Since its inception back in 2015, the politically incorrect desk has been a constant source of inspiration for the masses who were tired of dull and overpriced workspaces that had bored the people of the internet for years. The world lingered in earnest as I failed to deliver the long-awaited follow-up, but fear not, because the wait is finally over. Let's take a look.
I'll pick this up and check this out.
After the year 2017, the need quickly became apparent to split the whole setup across two different locations, because it was becoming obvious that there was simply too much political incorrectness for one desk to have the honor of containing. The neat thing about all of this is that almost none of that original equipment has actually been retired. Most of it has simply been displaced. Starting in 2018, the infamous Dell Precision M6400 received a shiny, old, 6-foot brown folding table as its new home, in addition to a well-deserved storage upgrade in the form of a 500 gigabyte Samsung solid-state drive and a 2 terabyte Western Digital hard disk, both of which would represent my first foray into brand new and manufacturer refurbished storage, respectively. Little else was done at that station in the first year, aside from the addition of an LG 27EA 33V 27-inch LCD monitor. Back on the previous desk, 2018 would also be the year when I finally replaced the venerable ThinkPad X200 tablet and Microsoft Surface 3 with a ThinkPad X1 Carbon 4th generation, which continues to serve me well to this day. At the time, it was coupled with a dock station and largely the same set of monitors as were seen previously on the desk. In 2019, the LG monitor would go on to be moved to the previous desk. Together, this setup would now deliver an impressive 4.69 megapixels across all three monitors, backed up valiantly by only the X1 Carbon Ultrabook. This would represent the first time in the history of my workspace when I had a computer that could actually support 3 displays independently without the use of the little USB display link gadget. At the end of 2020, the decision was finally made to start transitioning away from docked laptops. As such, this setup remained pretty much the same, with the exception of a classic Dell Optiplex 780 taking the place of the ThinkPad. Equipped with a Core 2 quad processor, 12 gigabytes of DDR3 memory in solidarity with the Precision M6400, and a FirePro V4900 video card capable of driving the 3 monitors simultaneously, once again without the use of DisplayLink, this setup still packs quite a punch. It was around this time when I also retired the venerable Labtech LCS 2414 speakers in exchange for this Logitech Z4 setup. While the sound isn't significantly better, this set doesn't suffer from the same balance problem that the Labtechs did, which I have other plans for around the house anyway. As those refreshments were going on, the brown desk started receiving some improvements of its own, beginning with a rather serious sound upgrade in the form of the Panasonic SA AK24 system, which is a 2.2 set that I acquired for the low price of $0. The LG monitor got replaced with a 30-inch Dell 3008 WFP that I got an excellent deal on, but alas, this much awesome proved to just be too much for the poor Dell Precision, which unfortunately started showing signs of GPU failure in the latter part of 2020. As a result of that, the M6400 would go on to find itself benched for the first time since 2017 in favor of this rather nondescript-looking tower containing a newer, fancier Asus motherboard, also acquired for the low price of $0. Coupled with a FirePro W5000 video card, it was able to go places that the Precision couldn't in terms of performance, running the combined 7.78 megapixel span of the 3008 WFP, Samsung SyncMaster 204B, and original Dell E228 WFP with shocking ease. Like the Dell Precision M6400 before it, Mario Kart Wii was no problem, and in fact it could now be emulated at an even higher resolution, but it never received much use in this role since the computer lacked Bluetooth. At the end of 2021, as the setup finally began to reach a plateau, the decision was made to abandon the location with the brown desk and start a brand new setup, one that I would have full control over and responsibility to from start to finish. I made the decision to invest some of the money that had been saved over the years into a brand new desk. This one's smaller and more expensive than those that had preceded it, but with one killer feature, that being power lift. The new desk is now a standing station, and all of our longtime favorites are here, including the Panasonic speakers, NMB keyboard, IBM branded mouse, HP Media Center remote, APC Backups RS1500 double battery uninterruptible power supply, the same office chair that I had received in exchange for the 65-inch Mitsubishi rear projection television, the Asus computer, and the Dell 3008 WFP monitor with its staggeringly great 2560 by 1600 resolution. So great was this found to be that I supplemented it with its modern equivalent on an extra tall stand, that being the Dell 3014, which offers the same great resolution but with even better color fidelity and dramatically lower power consumption. Together, this three-headed champion of a setup blasts a collective 10.1 megapixels into the eyeballs of the viewer. Quite the upgrade from the 1 megapixel single-screen Lenovo N200 that I was using 10 years prior, and that's to say nothing of the 0.7 megapixel HP ZT1250 Pavilion that I got my start on. Sometimes it's even too much to take standing up, which is why the whole setup can be lowered to a seated position. And now that I've assumed full control of the network infrastructure, that's even better than before too. Gone are the wireless bridges and other nonsense that had bottlenecked my progress for years. They're replaced now with a proper Motorola cable modem and a boring-looking but still reasonably powerful Linksys EA9200 tri-band wireless routery thing, complete with gigabit Ethernet straight into the computer. As we look to the future, here in 2022 and beyond, one thing that should remain obvious is that the curiously contagious and wildly unstoppable political incorrectness of my workspace remains uncontent staying the same. Even now, the Asus computer is in the process of being evolved with the help of a Microsoft LifeCam webcam thingy, a Bluetooth dongle to bring Wii emulation back to the forefront, and a USB hub to help keep all of these peripherals going simultaneously. As we move back into the practice of this hopefully becoming an annual feature, and as currency inflation makes new equipment increasingly unviable for those of us in the middle class, I look forward to continuing to demonstrate the winning flexibility of keeping one's workspace modern by going back to the past with used equipment where it counts. Thanks as always for watching, and I hope you'll join me for the next one.